we're trying this out. This is as beta as it comes. We don't know how this is going to work out. We don't know if it's going to look like crap, sound like crap. If you just can't stand to look at our faces. Um, and we're sorry for the video quality. This is the only webcam we have. So I know it's terrible. If this works out, we will upgrade, but this is just sort of a test run. I'm Travis.
I'm Rachel.
I'm Dana.
Hey, you know
Hi,
what we look like. Isn't that amazing? Haven't we made your night? We're covering the Iowa caucuses live. We're watching MSNBC. We may click around to the other two just to see what's going on. It's 6:30 Mountain Time, which means it is 7:30 Iowa time, right?
Yes.
Yes.
And 8:30 on the East Coast and 11 a.m. in Singapore or whatever.
Oh, Lily.
So yeah. Say hi to Lily.
This is Lily.
She's joining us. She's going to give her opinions.
Yeah.
We invite you to live tweet at us at Irreverent Duo. Isn't that right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
It's not really a duo anymore. It was called that when it was just me and my friend Pierre. Now
Yes.
it's a triad of sorts.
Yes.
With some other guests. So,
In so many words.
but yeah, at Irreverent Duo, live tweet at us and your questions, and we'll also get on the other computer here and see what's going on. There's YouTube live chat.
So
We're
feel
free to
brand new.
chat
You
to
guys
this.
want to
on
like
YouTube.
chat us up on YouTube or whatever? Do that too.
You want to get that going on? Here?
Uh-huh.
Right, chat some fun.
Yeah. So, I guess right now what we need to say is that the Iowa caucuses are underway. The doors are closed, so people arriving after 7 o'clock Iowa time are not allowed in. So it's kind of really specific, and we're going to get into the details about how the Iowa caucus works because it's complicated and it's not exactly the way that I think most people don't really know how it works. So we've done some research and we're going to explain to you guys how the Iowa caucus works and the math and that kind of stuff. I guess we were watching MSNBC and they were saying that so the people that came and got in the doors before 7 o'clock were able to stay and get counted even after 7, but anyone who showed up after 7 o'clock was turned away. So it's still going to be a few more minutes. Turnout looks to be really high. We don't have those exact numbers yet, but they think it's going to be a super good turnout for both the Dems and the Republicans.
Yeah, regardless of which side you're on, the very first step is to count how many people are there.
Yes.
So that'll probably be the first stat that we actually see coming out of anywhere. We might not get results for quite some time, but we'll definitely know how many people showed up right away because that's the very first step.
Yes. And they did some entrance polling, which basically means when you go to fill out your little thing and say, I'm here, some pollsters will be there and ask you who you're going to caucus for. Those results mean basically nothing because of the way caucuses work.
Because of how it works, yeah.
But
all right, looks like we had a couple of technical difficulties, so we might have dropped you there.
Hi, sorry.
Hopefully this is connected to the previous part.
Yeah, so
But we were just saying that a lot of these are being held in either school gymnasiums or churches because the way that it works, I like to liken it to that scene in Hook where they're trying to choose between who's going to be their leader between Rufio and Peter Pan.
Peter Panning.
And they draw the
Panning.
Panning, sorry. Yeah, and they draw the line in the sand with the sword, and people kind of make their arguments, and people cross the line back and forth. On the Democrat side, that's how it essentially works, is people make the case for why their particular candidate is the best, the coolest, going to be the best for the country. And as people's minds are made up, they kind of switch from one area to another. It's not quite per argument the way that goes. It's kind of done in rounds or segments. And for the first couple rounds on the Democrat side, they're allowed to be an unaffiliated group. But at a certain point, the unaffiliated group is no longer allowed to be there. And at any point in time, if somebody has less than 15%, they are kicked out and not allowed to participate in the next round.
Yeah.
I'll
So
get on later and
O'Malley-
explain all the minutia about how this works.
Yeah,
in a
so
little bit.
O'Malley will likely not make it past the first round.
Correct.
He's not going to have more than 3 or 4%, and so then it sort of matters where his voters decide to go,
Correct.
because he won't get a delegate, and we'll get into that kind of stuff later. But they have to then decide: are we supporting Bernie or are we supporting Hillary, or are they splitting? And some people that support O'Malley are going to do one or the other. So it could really make a difference, his votes. It also could kind of be a wash if they go half and half, which is
Right.
interesting.
And one thing that is important to note, and I'll get very in-depth on this here in a couple minutes, it's important as to the demographic data for each individual reason.
Yeah, that's probably that computer right there. It's not letting me switch anything.